Steaders. I can call you that now because you've come back for the second video. I'm here to talk to you today about a project. Actually, this has been a honeydew project of mine for a long time, but now finally able to get around to doing it, to actually getting it done. A storage building that we have on our property that came with the house that over the years has gotten very cluttered. We store a bunch of stuff in it. It was initially wired for electric, but when I met my wife, it was the wiring had been cut for some reason or another. So that was one of the earlier projects that I had, was to run a fresh run of Romex down to the building, get it all wired up. And it does store, it actually has two of our freezers down in the building that we keep pretty well stocked. They run year round, so we keep meat pretty much in one freezer and vegetables and prepared meals in the taller freezer. We have a solar powered attic fan that cools off the building, because you really don't want to run your freezer in a building that can get 110 degrees in the summertime, which is doing right now. We're in the pretty intense heat of the summer right now. It's hit 94 degrees today. But in the building, we have a wireless temperature sensor that tells us how much or how hot it gets down in the building. And today it was pushing, I think, 104 because of that heat index in the roof. So that attic fan is pushing out some of that hot air. But I've noticed that it kind of gets a little taxed because I've got a lot of stuff up in the rafters of the building, and it's just full of crap and stuff that has been accumulating over years. A lot of stuff that I accumulated when I left one job several years ago, that I had a whole bunch of parts that were not needed anymore that I held on to in case I needed them. But the main thing that we use it for is, there again, storing our freezers, but also storing our riding lawnmower and other implements of destruction and implements of construction. So needless to say, like I said, over the years the building has gotten very cluttered to the point where I couldn't really get a lot done in it. I would have to take whatever out. I wouldn't necessarily know what I've got. They say you don't know what you've got till it's gone. I say you don't know what you got until you clean it all up. So my task, one of the first things that, when I lost my job recently, my wife said that was going to be task number one, is to get the building cleaned out, cleaned it up, inventory what's in there, and get it all organized, which is her and Kendall's strengths, is getting things organized. Mine is usually just fixing stuff. But like I said, you can't. It's a whole lot easier to fix stuff if you know what you got, if you know what kind of parts, bolts, nuts you got. So that was the task, is to get everything pulled out, organized, cleaned up, throw out what we don't need, keep what we do need, and organize it and put it back in a very neat and tidy fashion. I am sure, because when my father-in-law passed away several years ago, we call him Pawpaw. We've always laughed, because anything that, any project that I've ever needed to do, there was something from Pawpaw in it, whether it was a tool that he lent me, a package of screws, whatever, he had to be in it. So I call that putting a little Pawpaw in the project. So that's, he has a lot of, I inherited a lot of things from him when he passed away, one of which was a neat little flatbed trailer that we worked on. I welded it up, and he left that to me. So I painted it and dedicated it to Pawpaw. But in the building, I am sure, because we took a bunch of screws, bunch of fasteners, bunch of nails from their house when he passed away, and just had nowhere else to put them, but I just dumped them in the building. So a lot of what I will be looking at is that. To do so, we're going to start by taking everything out, organizing it, and putting it all back. And probably getting rid of a whole bunch of crap that I don't need.
Two hours later.
Now, I'd be lying if I said that this was my idea, but here is the finished product. Shelves for everything, a place for everything and everything in its place. So that is our vegetable freezer that we can now get to very easily. My table saw, toolboxes. This is our meat freezer. We'll talk about that later. But we got shelves for everything. And found 2 big buckets of nails. Worth the whole time. Project for another day is to get up into the rafters and get all that crap cleaned out, but looks really good, really usable. Gain tons of floor space that I can actually walk around. I can work in here. Too bad the air conditioner doesn't really work. It sure would have been nice on a day like today. Thanks for watching.
2 hours later.
Good majority of it was cardboard, so we were able to get rid of that, throw that in the recycling. But the what's left, there is some aluminum trim for windows that not exactly sure what I'll need it for, but it's in great shape and it's good stuff. It's good aluminum, so I'm going to hold on to that. You never know what you might use it for. It's in a large tube that fits nicely in the rafters and gets it out of the way. But the coolest thing that we found in there was a boogie board that I had forgotten that we had up there, but added it to our other stack of other beach items in Sheila's building, which that's going to be one of the next big tasks, is to get that one cleaned up and organized. Hers is a newer building, or it came to us recently, so it's not as crowded and cluttered, but it does need a little bit of decluttering, a little bit of work on it. So that's a task for another day. But we're pretty proud of the work we've got done here, and thank you very much for watching, and have a great